I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team, and welcome to the channel. You guys, we are talking about a whole bunch of stuff, okay? I got receipts on a married man that is on Love and Marriage Huntsville, whose name right now is inside of a social media group who is dedicated to exposing cheaters, okay? So stick around for that. I also have some tea for you on what the men of Love and Marriage Huntsville think about Marquez and Ken. So stick around for that. We're also talking Tyrese, because this brother is about to land himself in jail for the holidays. I promise you that. And I got some exclusive tea on Miss Lisa Ray McCoy. She is finally opening up and talking about what happened between her and her BFF. So stick around for everything, okay? Also, hit my like button and share this video, because that is how others find me here on YouTube. Y'all already know this is my commentary. All opinions are alleged, and let's jump right into it, all right? We're gonna start it off with Lisa. Let's talk Lisa Ray. Y'all, Lisa Ray and her ex-BFF, Nicole Murphy, who really is fond of married men, okay? Even married men who her best friends are married to, because it sounds like Nicole has cheated with two men that were married to her friends, okay? I told y'all that there is a certain kind of woman who likes married men. And Lisa Nicole, I think too, would mean that you are, you're a part of the club, girl. But today, finally, Lisa Ray exposed Nicole Murphy in the worst way. At least 3 or 4 times a year, between Lisa Ray and her sister, the Brat, they drag the hell out of Nicole Murphy on television, over the radio, on social media, you name it. If they are asked a question about this woman, they will just call her all kinds of names and say she knew what she did, but they never give the details. But today we got the details. I heard this over there on Carlos King's page. Lisa Ray, who was married to, I think his name is Michael Mizik, is that right? Mizik, I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but he was the chief minister of Turks and Caicos, okay? Chief minister or previously chief minister of Turks and Caicos. And he lived in this big, huge house, of course, that is, I guess the equivalent of the White House in the United States. So there's a whole lot of security detail, and anybody who flies onto the island to visit him, they're going to have to put their names on a manifest, right? On a little roster to say, this person flew in this day, this person left on this day, right? The property was very, very huge, and I guess people were coming and going all the time. And Miss Lisa Ray had no idea that her BFF, Nicole Murphy, flew in on the island. She flew into the island, child, and lived somewhere, was staying somewhere on the property, having relations with her husband while she was in the big house. She did not know. She ended up finding out after she looked at the manifest, or the roster, the plain roster of who was coming in and out. And she saw her friend's name and was like, well, hell, you didn't come visit me, heifer. So where were you? She started putting two and two together. And then she started looking at the video, okay? And she was seeing who was coming and going and what they look like. The same thing that Layla Rashawn, is that her name? She's married to Antoine Fuqua. He's a producer. Similar story. Antoine Fuqua was out enjoying himself on vacation, and Nicole Murphy said she just happened to be there, but she was way too close for comfort, tongue kissing that man and rubbing on him and stuff. Anyway, Lisa Ray found out, and she said her first instinct was to go out there and whoop her ass. However, she said, you know what? She's engaged to Michael Strahan, because y'all know Nicole Murphy got she got engaged pretty quickly after she had divorced Eddie Murphy. And it looks like after Lisa Nicole got that video, she sent it over to Michael Strahan and broke that marriage up. So, woo, what's good for the goose, child, is good for the gander, okay? Y'all talk to me. Let me know what y'all think about that story. I was like, all ears. That was probably one of the juiciest things I heard over there today. So talk to me. Let me know what y'all think. Like I said, there are women who do put themselves out there for married men all of the time. Has been happening since Jesus was a small toddler. Okay, but talk to me and tell me what y'all think in the comments. And we are going to move on to this guy right here. This is Tyrese Gibson, and this is coming by way of, let me give y'all the name, Ice Cream Convos, okay? Listen, y'all see the title of the post called Tyrese Gibson Vows to Pow Pow, Shank, and Make Sure You Meet Your Maker to Protect His Wealth from his ex-wives, okay? A lot of you may be asking, how rich is Tyrese? Well, clearly not very if he's trying to, you know, take people down in this way. And he said it on his social media page. This video has been recycled a gazillion times. And my guess is that he may be doing time in the pen, okay, in the pokey for the holidays, because Tyrese has a little bit of a history, especially in the court, with saying things, making threats, and the judge has already told him that he was going to hold him in contempt and put him away. So, child, let's get into it. Let's talk about what this man has going on. So on Monday, which is yesterday, Tyrese decided to hop on in front of his iPhone camera, unsupervised, okay, meaning without a good lawyer sitting beside him to make sure he doesn't say the wrong thing. And he left a fiery message to both of his ex-wives about protecting his wealth. So he's 45 years old. He was married to a woman. I think his first wife was Norma Gibson. And he calls her baby mama number one. And then the second wife is Samantha Lee. And he called her baby number two. Both of them gave him a daughter, okay? But in a very lengthy and heated rant, he said that he is going to protect his money by any means necessary, even if it means that he has to pow them, shank them with whatever, you know, item he has in his kitchen drawer, or just take them out, maybe physically, put his hands around somebody's neck. He said they're going to have to go, okay? And he just don't understand. He going to have to go. He going to have to go. And then what? At the end of the day, I'm sure those ladies are doing what they need to do, which is going to a courthouse and getting a restraining order. But you may be asking, well, how much money does Tyrese have? Because that's what I said. I know that he likes to live large and in charge, sitting in the back of vehicles with a chauffeur, throwing paper and cigarette butts and all kinds of things out the window. But y'all remember a couple of years back, he came on his social media page. This is, I think, when he was trying to divorce the first wife. Maybe the first wife, Norma. He was on his social media crying, talking about he was broke because he didn't want to give Norma any money. And then he said that he had to borrow $5 million from Will and Jada, or that maybe they just gifted him $5 million. And Will and Jada said, if y'all believe that, okay, I got a whole, you know, I can sell y'all a horse, hell, whatever it is. They said I ain't got it, and they got it, of course. They ain't giving it to him, though. They said, we ain't giving it to you, child. Go away. But either way, he's still been acting a fool. And right now, let me show y'all what Tyrese, his bank account looked like. Let me give y'all some numbers. First, let me show you this. If you missed my video yesterday, I called it Marceau Said That Tisha's the Breadwinner. Please check it out, okay? Give it a look-see. A lot of y'all said that Marceau and Tisha don't have any money. They are brokey, broke. And if they did have money, they would be driving better cars. They wouldn't be renting houses. What else did y'all say? Tisha would have better clothes. Whatever it was y'all were saying, let's look at somebody who's supposed to got it, okay, and what they actually have. Tyrese is supposed to have it. And this is his monthly income. He makes $105,000 a month. This is actually pulled from the court documents during his second divorce. So I think that was maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. They were able to confirm that he makes $105,000 a month, but he spends $107,000 a month. So he's already in a deficit by $2,000. His bank balance was $900,000, which isn't horrible, but it definitely shows that he's spending every dollar that walks in the door, and he is going broke at the end of the month on the salary that he has. His real estate assets is $1.7 million, which is very, very modest. And his legal debt is $133,000. So this man, for all intents and purposes, is broke. He is a broke millionaire. Okay. He is broke. And this is what broke looks like when you have a lot of money. It is what it is. I know and have met a lot of millionaires who live very, very modestly. They drive Toyota Priuses. They are wearing like regular plain Jane clothes, like a Gap t-shirt and a pair of Levi's. If you saw them on the street, you wouldn't know what they had in the bank. Okay. You wouldn't know what they had in assets, what type of home they live in, all the stuff. But there's some people that like to wear their money on their back, and Tyrese happens to be one of them. And yeah, it can work both ways, child. Some people like to live modest, or give you the impression that they live modest anyway. But they got a lot of money in the bank, and then there's some that should have more than they actually do. But talk to me in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. We are moving on to this. Who got exposed on a cheater's webpage? Let's move on to that, okay? Talk to me in the comments about what you think regarding Tyrese. Okay, here we go. Let me put the scroll back up. There are a couple of pages, Facebook pages called Sis, Is This Your Man? And they exist for pretty much all the major cities, maybe some of the states, right? This one is Sis, Is This Your Man? Alabama, because we're talking about somebody who is in Alabama, Leavenmere, Huntsville. And y'all can see that it has 60,900 and something followers, members. That is the members. It's a private group. And what they do is they put the pictures of men that have been exposed for either cheating with a woman, with a man, or whatever. Okay. They put it in the group, and they will talk about it and get information out there. And I was able to get some tea. Someone sent me some tea on a man from that show that was exposed. Okay. Let's look to see who it is. If y'all are a member of this group, let me know. And if you are a part of a chapter in your city or state, put that in the chat too. Maybe somebody needs to join it to keep an eye on their men. Okay. But let's move on. Let's look at the face. Who do y'all think it is before I reveal it? Put that in the chat. Who is it? Who is it? Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da. All right. I'm trying to, there you go. Look, y'all. It's Marquez. It's Marquez. That is this man's face. Hold on, let me get the big picture. That is Marquez, okay? But I want y'all to see the date before people start saying, well, they're separated. Well, let's look at the date, because a lot of y'all were saying that this man was not separated, that he was in a full-blown marriage. So y'all see the date? It says September 24th, 2019. That would have been before Ken. Correct? That would have been before Ken. 2019, 9:42 a.m. Let's get the big picture. And someone says, so I'm in this group that sends pics about men trying to see if they are messing with other women or if they're married or whatever. And what? There was a lady in the group who said, Sis said, who is he for? Because she heard that he is legally separated and trying to make sure before she sits on his face. Somebody nasty, okay? But that's the face that they wanted to sit on. The green-eyed bandit, Marquez. Come on now. That was a lot of crying that you did the other day talking about somebody stole your woman when you was out there in Alabama living a single, okay? What life? Marquez was living a single life, period. And just yesterday, just yesterday or the day before, I think was it Monday or Sunday? I actually talked to y'all about this. So he made a whole thread. I'm reposting this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he was basically saying that for the first time in the entirety of his and Trisha's relationship since they've been separated, for the first time sitting on that TV show, the three of them had sat down and talked to each other. This man has children. He never called a Ponderosa before. And in this message, he also threatened Ken, right? And said, hey, big man, you're going to have your day in court, all that good stuff. Okay. Well, check out what the man had to say as of yesterday, child. I hate to say it this way, but I am like a little girl. He made a post to his IG story showing that him and Ken had a talk. Okay. You can see that it says incoming call, which means that Ken called him 4 hours and 39 minutes. For damn near 5 hours, these two men were on the phone. And Marquez posted the picture. He's really different. He posted this picture of his phone and he put the message, probably the toughest conversation I've ever had, but God has a plan and the power of prayer. Then he said, P.S. This is not a storyline. This is real life. And the Holy Spirit has been working behind the scenes for the greater good. Now, this one part was, this message was one thing. Let's just say that this message was one thing. What else did Marquez put up here? He posted, wow. Now stop and think about when you have been so elated to speak to a man that you actually said, wow, afterwards. Like you could feel yourself floating outside of your body kind of wow. Because that's what I got when I read it. I went, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Damn near 5 hour conversation. You're so happy you have to post it to social media. And then you follow it up with, wow. I'm sorry. I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing. Then it goes even further. He said, damn, that was tough from man to man to set your pride aside on both ends for the bigger picture is only God's work. It's not about us. Ciao. Oh my goodness. Again, I know a lot of people were buying into that story that he tried to put out there, but this should let you know how quickly the man's feelings and emotions change. It's like the wind, okay? Seriously. But yeah, y'all talk to me in the comments. Let me know if your feelings change, because sometimes you can get really wrapped up in someone's story and they'll be lying to you the whole time and leaving you feeling really weird. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the men on the show. What do they think about Marquez and Ken, and really Marquez, because I'm kind of siding with the men here. I feel the same way, but let's play it. Marceau Scott was on Messy Mondays. And this is what he had to say about the storyline from Saturday night's episode.
If we're going to be honest about what I think that he is a master at playing on women's emotions and getting sympathy.
Oh, wow.
Say what now? A master at playing on women's emotions and getting sympathy. Interesting, because I said the same thing. I saw the same thing in this guy.
I think that it was an ego stroke. All right. When a man that you can't beat, that you're simply not better than, that everything in your life, when you take the size, when you take the wife, when you take the kids, that's an ego stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that he was realizing he lost in that moment. That's something he should have and could have been proud of. I think he's playing on people's emotions. I think it was a very sad moment for him to lose like that. But yeah, I don't think for 1 second he was crying about losing the kids.
He wasn't. He was crying to get empathy, sympathy. And I'm going to tell you something else. He's giving me Martell on steroids. Like, he is a master manipulator. He is Martell on steroids for sure.
She wasn't all the way gone.
Hold on.
When he was ready.
There you
and
go.
he left it like that. But
Yeah.
I don't think for 1 second he was crying about losing the kids.
But listen,
He
though.
was crying about losing the relationship and losing. And I think that he's still in love with her. I think he's crying about losing something that he thought he could leave on the shelf and come back to when he was ready.
There you
and
go.
he left it on the shelf, and
somebody else came along.
And to me, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. She wasn't all the way gone.
Now, both Glenn and Marceau is saying this. This is a man's perspective. And I have to say, they know what men do. They know what this is. This is basic barbershop conversation.
She wasn't
feel
all
like
the way
that.
gone.
I feel like that.
Wait. When you say you believe Trisha was not all the way gone, what do you mean by that?
I'm saying that divorce papers are easier to get. If someone's out of your house for years and years and years, it's much easier to get. It's much easier to get. So I think that the divorce rate wouldn't be so high in the United States if it was that difficult to have. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why it's not is because people were holding on to something. So to the certain, and I'm not saying rightfully so. I mean, this is your high school sweetheart, is all you knew, and it's tough to get into the second situation. You know, you might love Ken, but the hurt, the trauma, not getting past it, whatever. I'm not here to say that, but I'm saying this is what I feel.
I have to say, I agree. Breaking up relationships that you've had since you were a child is really hard. It's just like friendships. When you have those long friendships, 30 years, whatever, it really is marriage period. When you end it, it's a death. But after everything that happened to her, to have another death happen in marriage is hard, even if it's just paperwork.
So I don't think that both of them were entirely through with and throwing everything 100% away. But at the same time, you know, I think Marquez's stuff was on for sure.
I mean, Ken did say he could come to him and talk to him about it. Boy.
Hey, but you know what? To me, that was some boss. Hey, that was some boss.
Yo.
Hey, that's a
confident dude, Carlos. If they helping on Bell Collective, I'm turning some tables over. I won't smoke. I won't smoke, nigga. Boy, you gonna tell me I can come to you?
Hey, I tell you what. Then don't be the guy that gets told that.
Straight up. Don't be the guy that gets told that. If you don't want to lose your family, don't leave your family. This man moved to a whole nother state. He moved out of the state.
Then don't be the guy don't put yourself in a position where somebody can consider. Put yourself in a position where someone sitting around across the table says, "Hey, man, I'll help you out too."
Bro,
yeah, don't do it.
That's the next level disrespectful shit I ever seen in my life.
The size.
Boy, you gonna tell me I can come to you?
Hey, I tell you what. Then don't be the guy that gets told that. Then don't be the guy don't put yourself in a position where somebody can consider. Put yourself in a position where someone sitting around across the table says, "Hey, man, I'll help you out too."
Bro,
yeah, don't do it.
That's the next level disrespectful shit I ever seen in my life.
well, it's positioning. It's hey, Glenn, can I tell you something? I'm not trying to get too spiritual, but people quote, "Don't turn the other cheek" wrong. Right. When someone hits you, turn the other cheek and let them hit the other side too. That's not weakness. That's a flex.
I understand.
When he said, "I'll tuck your kids in, and if
you
up,
too,
I'll tuck you in too."
You too. Somebody don't listen to me, boy. I don't care how big that boy is, man. He gonna have to see me, man. Boy,
listen, that is facts. That is what that's the same thing Jay-Z said. He said he will not have another man throwing a football to his son when he was talking about Sierra's man and Future, Sierra's husband and Future. He said that was the biggest flex. He said, "I will never let that happen." That is true.
Don't cross that table so fast. Hey,
and do what when you got across the table?
I don't care. I don't care.
Back in that seat.
Hey, I don't care. I don't care. Hey, I won't smoke. I don't care what happened after that. That boy could have beat me till I couldn't even talk no more. He gonna have to do it. He gonna have to do it.
You know what?
That's love, man.
They got some things. You know how you beat your haters? Be better than them.
I understand that. Ain't no way Marquez can be better
than them.
Ken is
because he's better than you.
Ken is constantly reminding Marquez where he is not with his family.
Facts.
Come on, bro.
Facts.
He won with me.
Facts.
And I agree with what you said.
That's all facts. He's constantly reminding him of what he is not with his family, from buying the kids cars, getting them passports, taking them out of the country, taking care of that house, taking care of his wife. It is a constant reminder. And when I saw this message right here, I was like, he did become one of the kids. It was like he was saying, I'm grateful that he is willing to take care of me too. That's what it felt like to me. But y'all talk to me, okay? Because listen, if y'all didn't pay attention to anything else, when Russell Wilson was throwing Future's son that football, taking him to the stadium, having him play with whatever football team he was with at the time, you could see how mad Future was. But you cannot do anything about it. You lost, okay? But y'all talk to me in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about everything, all the stories that we discussed today. What else? Follow me on all my social media platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. Hit that like button, share this video. What else? And that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.